So, fast forward back to, me being a Christian and things like that. Okay. The reason I went back to talk about me becoming very self aware and feeling like something was wrong with me is because my confidence in myself became a place where the devil attacked me hard. And I was never like a really super confident guy, but I had a measure of confidence. I mean, no way I would have got that beautiful woman if I didn't, in my opinion. So, I'm learning about God. All my confidence starts taking a hit, and I just get super low for a long time. It's partially because I was partying when I was trying to be close to the Lord. That was an unrepentant sin in so many different ways, and my own self. So the Lord's trying to get my attention. It was working to an extent. And I started to get very I don't know exactly how to explain it. I started being unable to make intelligent decisions, maybe. Kind of slipped into kind of like a hyper grace place where I was waiting for a sign from the Lord to tell me what to do next or where to go, and I still struggle with that to an extent at times. But I do believe the Lord does work in those ways, but I struggle there. My focus, it's all about where your focus is. Focus on the Lord, but not the sign that you're waiting for, kind of thing, maybe. But I started questioning a lot of things. I knew that something needed to happen with me and my girlfriend at the time, whether we break up or I move out, we get separate places. I knew something needed to happen. And during that time, and there's a lot of things in the middle there I'm not hitting, but I'm thinking of the bullet points. I met a woman that had started at my job who loved the Lord, grew up, raised as a Christian. Then the similar music was very pretty. One of the most infectious smiles and laughs I'd ever heard. I got a crush on her, I'd be praying to God, like, God, what's going on here? I know I need to, at the very least, move out, but at the same time, like, did you put this woman in my life? And if so, why? Because we became fairly close pretty fast. We were very comfortable with each other, similar sense of humor, same, almost identical music tastes. And I made the decision. It was like I did something that was going to be a decision it would help out in multiple things for my life at the moment. I decided that I was going to cordially break up with my girlfriend and move out, and this was true, to find out for sure if I was to marry her or not. And we needed to not live together in order to do that. So I was right in that. however, did not tell her that I would be pursuing this other woman, which I did. I did. I broke up with my girlfriend at the time and pursued this woman at work. During this time, I had moved out. I was living with my mom, and we went on one date. And it was kind of awkward. Not gonna lie. She went on the big old trust in God, making big decisions thing mindset that I was at, which I was like, if the Lord is trying to put us together, then she'll be there too. And she was not. And that was hard. I believe the Lord used her to get me and my girlfriend away from each other, which worked. At the very least, that's what was going on, I believe. But me and the girl I took on a date didn't work out. I don't need to tell that next part. Let's just say I did some things and reacted in some ways that really alienated me and that woman at work, and also made me look very, it's just crazy to other people at our job. And they gave me a pass, because I was always a nice guy and worked hard, and they're just like, oh, Chuck, this guy must be going through some stuff. So I stayed apart from my ex-girlfriend at the time for a couple weeks, and I would have stayed apart longer, but my mom told me I could not stay with her anymore. So I decided that I was gonna move back in with my ex-girlfriend, because we had a place together and all my stuff was still there, and we were gonna give it a shot and go from there, figure out if we were gonna get married. And she moved out when I moved in. During that time we broke up, she was in a very low place. She had got very close to God. She had got baptized. And she said that she was going to go live with her mom till we figured out what we were going to do as far as our relationship, which was fantastic. Everything seemed like, okay, this everything's working out for the better. This is great. Thank you, God. So I was living at my place and she was at her mom's. We both had jobs. We were both pursuing God. We both were going to church together. And she did start coming over on weekend nights to hang out. We still hung out with each other every day after work. And then she would drive home, then sleep at home. So basically, she was sleeping at her mom's and still at our old place with me all the time, which turned into her staying the night. And us, doing things together that the Lord would rather have us be married to do. Sometimes things is second nature. You fall back into your default mode. Which is funny, because the only time she really wanted to have sex with me that bad was when she felt like it was taboo. So looking back, I could see that, and that's not good. It had to be exciting. It had to be exciting for her. I just loved her. She just wanted to do it to be rebellious, I guess. She had nothing to rebel. If having sex with me was not rebellion, then it lost its luster. A rebellious spirit, as they say. Which I knew she had, but I was still learning a lot about spiritual things. So we eventually I proposed to her. I'll never forget that moment. Even though I was intoxicated, because I was still drinking off and on. That was something I always struggled with. I had stopped smoking weed. That was something that only happened like once in a very great while after I'd already been drinking with friends, but I struggled off and on with drinking still. And I'd quit for times and stuff, and not too long after we proposed to each other, I quit drinking. Like, I just didn't drink at all, not even one. And at our wedding, I did not drink any alcohol for the toast. I was done, and it had been like a month or a couple months, and I went several months without drinking while we're on that subject, and then got back into it. Yes. Right, so I proposed. We had, well, mostly she had planned this elaborate wedding, which spent almost all of our savings, which we had become very good at saving money. Several $1,000s of our own money spent on rings and the wedding. And it was a very beautiful wedding, very traditional. My father, who I had not by choice seen in several years, came. It was as beautiful as it was awkward. The wedding was. She looked gorgeous, just very beautiful bride. So we get married. We're officially living together again, and things seem to get fairly good. They were working out pretty good. In these next videos, which I'll probably record another time, we'll go into me slipping further into depression, as well as the rise and fall of a very good musical prospect, as well as the decline and decay of my marriage up to the point of divorce.